What if I told you that one blood sugar number, the one almost everybody worries about, may actually be the most misunderstood number on the entire lab report? Maybe your fasting glucose was 104. Maybe it was 109. Maybe it crossed that scary line. You Googled it, and suddenly you're convinced you're becoming diabetic. But what if I told you that two people can wake up with exactly the same fasting blood sugar, and one is becoming diabetic while the other is actually metabolically healthy? Today, I'll explain why. More importantly, I'll teach you how doctors look at this number, so you will never panic over one lab result again. Stay with me because near the end, I'll show you the simple checklist I use in clinic to decide whether a high fasting glucose is something to watch or something to worry about. And trust me, most people never hear this explanation. Here's something fascinating. Your body actually starts preparing for your day before your eyes ever open. Several hours before you wake, your brain sends signals that release hormones like cortisol, growth hormone, and adrenaline. Their job isn't to hurt you. Their job is to help you survive. Think about our ancestors. If they woke up, they needed energy immediately. There wasn't time for breakfast first. So your liver steps in. It releases glucose into your bloodstream. So your brain, your muscles, and your body have fuel ready to go. This is called the dawn phenomena. It's completely normal. Everyone experiences it to some degree. The question isn't, does it happen? The question is, how much? And does your body handle it well? That's where things get interesting. Let's meet two patients, Marcus and David. Both wake up with a fasting glucose of 107. Same number. Should they both panic? Absolutely not. Marcus has an A1C of 5.1. His fasting insulin is low. His triglycerides are excellent. His HDL is high. His waist size is shrinking. His CGM stays remarkably stable throughout the day. David also has a fasting glucose of 107, but his A1C is climbing. His fasting insulin is elevated. His triglycerides are high. His HDL is low. His waist continues to grow. His blood sugar spikes after almost every meal. Same fasting glucose, completely different metabolic story. That's why doctors shouldn't diagnose your health from one number. We look for patterns. Now let's tackle one of the most confusing topics online, physiologic insulin resistance. Some people call it adaptive glucose sparing. The name sounds scary, but sometimes it's actually an adaptation. Imagine your muscles have become incredibly efficient at burning fat. That's exactly what often happens during prolonged carbohydrate restriction or fasting. Your muscles become excellent fat burners. When glucose appears, your body may become a little more selective. Instead of saying, everyone take glucose, it's more like, let's save some of the tissues that truly depend on it. Your brain, certain immune cells, and red blood cells. That doesn't automatically mean your metabolism is unhealthy. But, and this is important, don't assume that's what's happening just because you eat low carb. Context matters. That's why I never stop at fasting glucose alone. When I evaluate metabolic health, I'm putting together a puzzle. Fasting glucose is only one piece. I'm also looking at A1C, fasting insulin, sometimes C-peptide, your triglyceride to HDL ratio, your waist circumference, your continuous glucose monitor if you're wearing one, and perhaps most importantly, how you actually feel. Your energy, your sleep, your hunger, your exercise tolerance, because numbers should always match the patient sitting in front of me. If they don't, I keep asking questions. Here's the practical takeaway. A mildly elevated fasting glucose may be less concerning if your A1C is excellent, your fasting insulin is low, your triglycerides are low, your HDL is high, your waist is improving, your CGM stays relatively flat. Or on the other hand, I become much more interested if that fasting glucose is rising, along with an increasing A1C, high fasting insulin, expanding waist size, high triglycerides, fatty liver, poor sleep, sleep apnea, chronic stress, steroid medications, or frequent high glucose spikes after meals. That's a completely different conversation. If you remember only one thing from today's video, remember this. One blood sugar reading does not define your metabolic health. Patterns matter. Context matters, and treating the root cause will always teach you more than chasing a single number. Instead of asking, is my fasting glucose too high? Ask a better question. What story is my metabolism trying to tell me? That's the question that leads to better health.